So, John, Adam Thielen, and I'd like to ask the first question.
Okay.
Are you coming back? I'm not laughing.
I know you're not. Oh, shoot. I knew this was going to happen. But
Why are you blushing?
I mean, the media already ran with it that I said I got football left in me. I was kind of saying, like, I can play, but I don't know if I'm going to play. But, no, I feel good. I took 2 weeks off, like I said I would at the end of the season, and got my energy back. Started training already, so I'm ready to give it one more shot.
Man, that's lovely. That's lovely to hear.
That's music to our ears. You know, to watch you play. I mean, and you had the injury this year, but to know, because it's difficult. Like at the end, you start to know when it's starting to happen, but you want to leave a legacy. You know, and I think that's what you're doing here with all our young kids, and I think you see it's going in the right direction.
Yeah, I think if you would have asked me, I probably shouldn't say this, but if you'd have asked me like 3-4 weeks left of the season, I would have said, for sure I'm done. I'm exhausted. I'm tired. It's been a rough couple of years, and I think I'm just done. And like I said, I took 2 weeks off, spent a ton of time with my family, and just kind of thought about how the end of the season went, the progression, the things, the moves that the leadership in this organization are doing that I'm really excited about. I'm really excited about Bryce and what he was able to do once he got back in the game and kind of learned from the start of the season and taking some time away. So I'm really excited about this organization, where it's going. So it really kind of pushes me to say, why not give it one more shot? I've gotten through the tough times, the lowest of lows, hopefully. And so excited about what the future holds for this organization. I want to be a part of it.
Yeah, tell us about, the gold that's in growth, right? A lot of teams, go, and I look at the Philadelphia Eagles, for instance, and, they've had so much success. And then you hit a bump in the road last year where they crumble at the end of the season. And then all of a sudden, this year, they're masterful, right? What key indicators as a veteran, as a receiver on offense, are you looking for, like, and talking about the Panthers, to make you feel comfortable? Like Jake's saying, like, this is a moment in time where you're trying to leave a legacy. What key indicators are saying, okay, I am comfortable still playing for this organization and playing just another year in general for your body? Like, I have some indicators that show that I can still do this.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of a loaded question because there's so many places I could go with that.
Yeah.
I would say the number one thing is progression and stability.
Yeah.
Is are we progressing as an offense, as a team, as an organization, which I think we check all those boxes, as you saw towards the end of the year.
Yeah.
But not only that, right? Like, there's so many things that people don't see, even us as players sometimes don't see, that throughout the organization and leadership roles. Like, are we progressing there? Are we getting great leadership in leadership roles that are really important to the success of the team?
5 years ago, do you have that mindset?
No, absolutely not.
No, it's just interesting to hear. Like, he's seeing it. You're seeing everything now.
Yeah, and I think through experience, right? And I look back at my time in Minnesota, the first 5 years compared to my last 5 years there was huge progression in those 5 years, and there was huge changes in those key leadership positions that you wouldn't even think affect football, but they do.
Yeah.
And so when those things start to happen and you get good leaders that can really bring the most out of the people that they're overseeing, that only enhances the ability for the players to have success. So really excited about that, some of the moves that they're making. Obviously, Coach Canales, Dan Morgan, their leadership, their mindsets are very aligned with how I think of things and look at the game. And so excited about what they bring and what they're going to continue to bring. And we'll see how this offseason plays out. But I think there's a lot of good things to look forward to.
So third down, gotta have it, or fourth down this season, it seemed like Bryce was going to you. Is there a moment in the huddle or like a play call? Does he give you that look? Because I'm going to be honest, like, we're in the huddle sometimes, but way back when, in the play we call, I'm looking at Steve or Moose, and I'm calling the play, and I'm giving that nod like, hey, I don't care what it says. I'm going to you. Has that happened yet, or is that still – I mean, Bryce he's only in year 2, but, like, has that happened? Because we both know that happens.
So I love that you asked that question because it makes me think of Bryce's progression.
All right.
Because I don't think last year, beginning of this year, that happened. I think he was just so consumed of like, okay, here's the play call. I got to go through my reads. And there was so many times that I'm like, Bryce, just throw it to me. Because I'm like, when it's third down, it's fourth down, when it's a fourth quarter, 2-minute drive to win the game, like you find your guys that you trust and you give them a chance. And if they make a play, you come back to them.
Right.
And so that's kind of what I've been trying to push without being like, try not to be like, hey, just throw me the ball, like be a diva, right? But I'm also like, hey, I can help you, and let me prove it to you. Now, if you come to me in those critical situations and I'm not making plays, fine, go to someone else. But I think that's where he's progressed, is where he started to realize, and I've played with young quarterbacks and I played with veteran quarterbacks, and the biggest difference is when you play with a veteran quarterback, he knows who he's going to in those critical moments that he's going to trust to make plays in critical situations. And so I think that's where he's really progressed to where, like, he knows, like, who he can count on, when he can count on them, and then he trusts that and just goes with it.
Talk about the run game for a second. Chuba has brought back to life the running game for the Carolina Panthers, along with that offensive line, right? Robert Hunt. Give me something about this guy, because he seems like a guy that I would just want to hang out with, eat with, like just be around, because I'm like a bodyguard almost. And not just a bodyguard, maybe just he's your life person. That's what he seems like, just the energy that he brings to that locker room.
I would imagine that you would like him a lot as a running back. You know, that mindset of I'm probably gonna run towards that guy.
Yeah.
And then the coolest thing about Rob is his passion and his energy for the game. There were so many times where Chuba would break a run, and you see him back there dancing, like celebrating. I'm like, that's the energy and the mindset we need, and that we haven't had in the last 2 years here, because so many times that guys get consumed like, oh, I just got to do my job and I got to do it well. But we forget that this is like the game that we've been playing since we were 5 years old.
Kids, man.
And we were just in the backyard playing it for fun.
You remember Kedrick Vincent?
Same way. I was thinking that. But you know what? I'm listening to him talk, and I'm watching you talk, and I swear I'm talking to Ricky Prohl.
Oh.
Because, like, I would look at Ricky. My first year starting forever in the NFL we go to the Super Bowl. So I had 6 years of experience, right? But I was still young. Mm-hmm. But I can remember looking across the huddle, and I swear I'm looking at you, and Ricky Prohl would look at me. I'm calling the play, and he'd have one eye closed. But it was I had a sense of calm when I saw him. You know, and I think that's what he brings. That's what Hunt brings. And that is so valued that people don't realize, these young guys that are kind of worked up, and wow.
Yeah.
Look at how Adam, look how he's reacting.
Calm.
It makes
relaxed.
a difference.
And I think that's where you saw Bryce, when I always say like you got to be you out there. Like, I get it, like it's a tough game. You got to be prepared. You have to be detailed, all those things. But when you can pair that with just being yourself, and like you saw it late in the season with Bryce, just his attitude and his energy, you could tell that he was just like, okay, I can just be myself and have success.
Yeah.
And so that's what I always try to push in these guys is like, yes, like it's a cutthroat business. Yes, you have to be at the top of your game every week in and out, but just be yourself and have fun. And so that's what I try to bring. I try to find those spots where I can keep it light and fun, but then when I got to get serious, I got to get serious. So try to find that balance and try to show by example of what that looks like to the young guys. Because they don't know. I mean, they've never been in these situations. You know, college football is a lot different than the NFL. It's a cutthroat business. There's someone coming for your job, whether you're a first-round pick, whether you're the highest-paid guy. Like, someone's coming for your job, and they're coming for your money. So it's a cutthroat business, but you got to have fun and enjoy it while it lasts.
Oh, man. XL.
Oh. XL.
How hard is it to understand him in meeting rooms?
Well,
have you been able to?
I'm the translator. Oh. I'm the only one that can understand him. So
to me, I think I'm talking to somebody back home. It's so easy for me with my Louisiana accent. I love it.
I've had so much fun. So it's interesting because I was 34 years old, and the next closest in the receiver room this year was like 27, 28, David Moore maybe.
Yeah.
And then after that, it was like 22-23. So, but with that being said, I had so much fun this year in that receiver room. Just being able to share, some experience where I needed to, but really just enjoying my time with those guys. And like I said, our receiver coach, Rob Moore, could not understand Excel at all, zero. And so he would look to me in the meeting room. He would ask him a question. He would respond. And he would look straight to me to translate for him. So I would translate, and he'd be like, "How do you understand him?"
Yeah.
I don't know, but I love that kid. He is a extremely hard worker. I've tried to kind of narrow that into where that hard work needs to go, because so many times guys come into the league and they're like, "I'm going to work hard."
Yeah.
And it's like, yes, that's awesome. I love that.
You need some intention behind it.
Intentionality of where that hard work is going.
Yeah. And
once he figures that out, learns how to take care of his body, he's going to have a ton of success in this league. And then having his running mate, Jalen Coker, just right there by his side, learning on the fly together, they're going to be a great little duo for a long time.
Now, I guess a question I have for you, in your career early on, did you ever get benched? I mean, you were an undrafted guy, right? And I was an undrafted guy. Like, I think there's a chip. We're not one of these first-round pick bonus babies. But there's a chip that you have, and you feel like you've got to always perform. And I'm just trying to relate to, like, Bryce. We watched Bryce get benched, and that's hard. And credit Coach Canales. He needed to sit. Then he came back in. Like, did you ever have a point in your career where you had to be sat down or somebody started in front of you, and just the mindset to, like, okay, I know it's hard. My ego's crushed. How do I keep working?
Well, I was benched for the first 4 years of my career because I was playing special teams and not a whole lot of opportunity on offense. Which
did you feel like you should have been given those opportunities on offense?
I mean, I'm a guy who plays with a lot of confidence. So yeah, when I was a young player and maybe a little delusional, I was like, I'm just as good as these guys. I can do it at a high level. And I tried to prove that every single day in practice. I was going against the starters as a rookie, as a second-year guy, and I'm on scout team. I'm trying to make them look silly because I want to do that on Sundays, right? So every opportunity I had to step on that field, whether it was practice, training camp, OTAs, like I was trying to prove, like, no, this is who I am as a player. And there was a point in my career going into year 4 that I was like, all right, like, if I don't play on offense, I'm probably going to get pigeonholed into just straight special teamer. So, like, I'm going to attack this with everything I got and prove that I can do this at a high level and really make a difference for this team.
What was that you're like going into that mindset? What were the things that you were dialed in on, focused on as far as your craft?
Yeah, I mean, I think just being extremely detailed, knowing every position, because I knew that the more opportunity I had, the more I was going to be able to show who I am. And if I knew every position, if I knew the X, the Z, the F, the Y, like, hey, I'm raising my hand, I'm running on the field. If someone has a shoelace untied, like, I'm out there. And so I just took that mindset from OTAs. When guys would miss a practice, I'd be like, great. He's got to go take care of his kids or something. Great. I'm going to get more reps to show who I am and prove that I can play receiver in this league at a high level. So, yeah, just trying to play every position, be an all-around receiver, showing that I'm fast, quick, good hands, good route runner, can take the top off. I think that's important. A lot of guys don't understand in this league is you can't be a one-trick pony. No. If you are, you're going to be out of this league quick. So the more you can do, the more you can kind of do everything and show that, the more opportunity you're going to get.
Well, Adam, we can't thank you enough for stopping by. We love watching you play. We love watching your passion. It shows. I'm just telling you, it shows from the fans, from in the booth, and just to impart your wisdom on these young receivers, because you're going to leave that legacy. And hopefully 10 years from now, when you're on the PGA Tour or the senior, whatever it may be.
Yeah, I'll be your caddy.
You can look back
That'd be nice
at Coker and Legette and say, you know what, I'm proud of those kids. They stayed and they listened. So, man, thanks, and good to have you back, man.
Thank
Keep pounding.
Good seeing you,
Appreciate
man.
it.